Lawton, Oklahoma is where we go for Michael. Michael, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. What's going on?
Not much. I just recently was released from a contract job, and so came across your clarity guide.
Mm-hmm.
And as going through that, I thought I was on the right track, and now I'm more confused after doing the clarity guide.
That's funny. So we walked you through in that guide what I do on the phone with callers, talent, passion, mission, and now you're more confused than ever, and I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But tell me why you think you're confused.
Because I thought where my sweet spot was doesn't even show up on the clarity guide.
Okay, what did you think your sweet spot was?
I was a web designer and developer and did a lot of IT stuff, but it doesn't show up at all.
Well, what's funny about that is it doesn't show up because you didn't put it on there. This isn't a plug and play. I'm asking you questions on this guide and you're writing answers down and it didn't show up.
Right.
Well, wait a second. Why didn't it show up? You're the one that put the answers in there.
Well, I mean, I do have, what things that I do best, I do have technology on there. So it did show up to a little bit, but not to the extent that I thought it would.
Okay, what did you write down for the kind of work that gives you high emotion and high devotion? What did you write down for passion?
For passion, passion for people, for helping people.
Oh, so you're good at people skills? You got good people skills?
Yes.
What are your top people skills?
Patience and listening. I've been told that my entire life.
Well, when somebody tells me they're a good listener, I know they're a good communicator. But see, communication sometimes gets boiled down too simplistically to you're a good speaker. And it has nothing to do with your ability to go up and give a speech or preach or anything like that. Communication is like a tennis match. I may not be the most eloquent person in the world, but I can be plain spoken. I can connect with people. So I'm just curious, are you a good connector with people?
Yes.
Oh, surprise. I'll bet you're a good communicator with people too, not just the listening, but also when you listen to them, there's some type of response from you, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and what's that response met with? When you respond to people after listening to them, are you giving advice?
Yes. Yeah, generally advice or
coaching, direction?
Yes. Yeah.
How do people react when you give that feedback?
Generally positive.
Okay, great. So we know more about what you're good at, and so when the work you love working with people, describe the type of work. Don't get into job title and overthink this. If you were going to work all day long with people, what kind of work would you be doing?
That's the part I guess I don't really know.
Not true. You just told us. You literally just told us the type of work that you would love to do with people. Okay, let me walk you through this way. Because you are, my friend, you are locking up on me right now. You're locking up. You're thinking too hard. What would you do tomorrow if you knew your talents were communication and connecting with others, and you love the work of advising and coaching? Because you couldn't tell me that, but didn't you tell me you really are good at advising and coaching people?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like advising and coaching people?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me that you loved it when I asked you if you loved the idea?
I guess part of it's just fear and not stepping out and doing something different.
Yeah, but my point is you're not using the same language I'm using. I'm trying to bring you into some really basic language. You're not confused at all. The Career Clarity Guide actually revealed your heart, and it freaked you out because you thought it was going to say, go back and do technology work. But the reality is that you are good at people skills, and you like doing people work. True or false?
True.
All right, now I want you to shut your brain off. Your brain is working overdrive. I want you to answer this with your heart. Are you willing to do that, Michael?
Yes.
No matter how scared or how doubtful you are, you got to promise me you're about ready to answer this question with your heart.
Okay.
Because if you don't, I already know what your heart's saying. I got to have you say it. But if you don't, I'm going to bust you right in the nose. You got that?
Yeah.
All right, now we got him laughing. All right, here we go. What would you do tomorrow, Michael, if you knew you could not fail? I took care of the qualification process, any money that's attached to getting qualified, and I just put you in this seat, and you knew you couldn't fail. And I'll throw one more caveat. You didn't even have to commit to it for the rest of your working life. You would just try it. What would you do, Michael?
Reach out and start trying to help people.
Yeah, be more specific. That's not specific enough. That's your head talking. When I set it up that way, your heart began to throw images into your head. True or false?
True.
I know, but you wouldn't tell me. What images came in your mind when I said, and I'm doing it one more time, when I said you could help people? Who are those people? What are their problems? What are the solutions to those problems that you would love to sit and provide and get in the car on the way home and feel as though your heart was absolutely overflowing? I've given you more time, Michael, because I know there are people that are popping in your head right now. Who would you help? How would you help them? Say it.
I like helping small business.
How?
Helping them get started and up and running, going through the financial planning.
Beautiful. Why? Why do you want to help small business people do their business better? There's a reason, Michael. Why?
I've always enjoyed businesses. My dad owns his own business, and I guess part of me just wants to own my own business too.
Yes, sir. And you've also seen your dad struggle with small business, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Michael is finally aware. Michael, you've seen your dad struggle, and you go, I think he needs to do it a little different. Maybe dad wasn't receptive. Are you getting emotional on me, Michael?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Why are you crying?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. We're not going anywhere. I'm not going to allow this moment to pass. Why are you emotional?
It's hard to see families struggle.
Yeah. You want to help your dad, but your dad's not even willing to take the help, is he?
Not really.
Whew. There it is. There it is. So, here's what you got to figure out. I'm proud of you, man. I know that's hard. I know it's hard to call it on a show and some dude starts making you cry, but I actually didn't do anything to make you cry. It's just we got to your heart. This is what we talk about, Michael, while you pull yourself together. Listen, folks, I want you to pay attention to what's happening with Michael right now. He's overcome with emotion because he's getting deep into the why. And I've said on this show before, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not your why. You got to care deeply. When I talk about using what you do best, your talent, to do work you love, your passion, to produce results that matter deeply to you. You're watching Michael realize why it matters so deeply to him because he's watched his dad struggle. And he's going, Dad, you don't have to struggle. I want to help you, Dad. And then he goes, my dad may not be willing to take the help, but I think there's other small business people out there that would take my help. So, Michael, we got to figure out how you're going to help those small business people do that. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, so there are multiple ways we can do this practically, okay? So you've got to look at, all right, what are all the ways I can do that? Am I going to help them with accounting? And that gets me in the door? Am I going to help them on operations? Do I start my own consulting agency and I do it local? Can I get my dad to just say, Dad, turn over one piece of the company to me and I'm going to start consulting and guiding you? I don't know what that looks like in the days ahead, but here's the point. You eventually want to have your own business where you are helping small business owners win. Is that true or is that false?
True.
All right, so I want you to start to take those steps. Couple things. Let's do this. Let's make sure that Michael gets a copy of Entre Leadership, the #1 best-selling book. I want him to get steeped in that if he's not already and understand how Dave Ramsey defined really the leadership style that we teach here at Ramsey Solutions, to be that half entrepreneur, have that creativity and that risk-taking and that deep abiding passion to solve a problem. That's what entrepreneurs have. But then leaders are all about serving people and helping people do their job best. I want you to really grab that. So I want you to read that book, and then I want you to begin to talk to, however you can do it, online, in person, people that are consulting businesses that are doing, operational support, accounting support, whatever you got to do. Figure out your specialty area that you can offer and go volunteer for a couple companies. That's how we get this started. Go, you got a day job, go volunteer, say, hey, I'm really good at this. and I want to start this thing down the line, is what I want to do to prove it and test it and scale it is I want to offer free consulting for you. Some people are like, what? Yeah, folks, that's how you do it. That's how you get going. So a lot of ways to do that. But you got to determine how to best go about it. And don't put all this pressure on you to quit your day job and move into this. This is going to take a little bit of time, but you are going to figure it out. Wow, how about that to start the show, huh? That's it. Now listen, I just want to say something really quick. We're going to go to another call. You don't always have to cry. Some of you are going, I can't cry like that, Ken. I mean, I love what I'm doing, but I'm not crying. I'm not saying you got to totally break down, but I want you to grab the emotion behind that. If you don't get so grateful, so convicted, and so much significance in your work. Now, this isn't about money. You notice I didn't say anything about money or spreadsheet. I said, you got to get welled up inside to go, hey, this isn't about money. I mean, I'm all for making money, but it's not about money. It's about meaning. And if you can't sense conviction about why you do what you do, if you can't see the connection to people, I don't care if it's 5 layers down, you still got to realize, hey, I am convicted about this. This has got to happen. And when you do, there will be some emotion that wells up in you. It just will. Either from gratitude that you get to do it, or gratitude that you got to have impact on somebody, or a deep abiding conviction to fight something on behalf of somebody else. Where do you think Dave Ramsey's conviction comes from? It comes from losing everything. Rock bottom. I don't want anybody to ever go through that again. So he starts writing a book and turns it into a self-published thing and sells it out of his trunk and then goes to church and does a financial class for free and puts it on an overhead projector. Why? Deep conviction. I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. I want those that are going through it to know that I got out of it, and here's how. If your why doesn't make you cry, it's not your why. And that's going to come from those two things, gratitude for the impact and conviction on that impact. It must happen. It's not I could do it, I should do it. It's I must. That's where this comes from, folks. This is a motivational show. There's Michael right there. Deep, deep, deep conviction. Watching his dad struggle. I challenge anybody who discovers what they're created to do to not tie it back to their own story in some form or fashion. It's impossible. You can't do it.